Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Pen. Now, some of you may have watched a video we did a few days back, and it was of an OXO ready meal beef bourguignon, and it was okay. It was okay. And one of you said your next challenge, Pen, is to make a beef bourguignon with dauphinoise potatoes for the two of you for £4, which is what two of the ready meals would cost. Well, challenge accepted. So come on down and see what we've got for the ingredients. Now, for a beef bourguignon, obviously you're going to need beef. Now, a couple of weeks back, I picked up some beef skirt, reduced, in Tesco's. This piece weighs 500 grams. I only need half of it. So, instead of being £1.38, £2.38, it's £1.17. I can't even add up, can I? £1.19. Okay? You need bacon. We were in Asda earlier this week, and they've got their new Asda Essentials range, and I bought some of their bacon, and it's very thin, but it's smoked and it's quite good, and I'll tell you the exact price of that in a minute. You'll also need red wine. Well, I'm not going to go out and buy red wine when I'm trying to do it on a budget, so thank you, Mr. Tesco's. Red wine stock cubes, £1.30 for 4. Or I can tell you how much that works out at. 32.5 per stock cube. Need bouquet garni. Now, I could have bought the herbs and tied them, but I saw these in Sainsbury's, and well, they're perfect and they'll last longer. I'll need one bag, and that works out at 10.5 a bag. I need mushrooms, and they're from Aldi, as you can see, and they work out at 30p for the amount I need. And I need some shallots. This is one of the most expensive things on here. I could have used onions, but I wanted to go for the real McCoy, and I'm going to use half of these, and they're 47.5p. So even if I over egg the pudding and say that the bacon is 20p, then this lot comes to £2.70 for the bourguignon. Okay, so that leaves me £1.30 to play with for the dauphinoise potato garlic. I'm not going to be using all of that. The amount of garlic I'm going to be using is about 9p worth. So I've got £1.70 left over to play with to make my dauphinoise potatoes. Well, my dauphinoise potatoes need garlic, which 6p worth of garlic, about 30p worth of potatoes from the bag, 29p of milk, and 38p of cream. So, can't be bad, can it? This is going to come in at under £3.80, and hopefully it will be tastier. So, I'm going to get prepped, and then we'll start cooking. Right, all the ingredients are ready. I've got a pan on the hob, just heating some oil in it. I have my beef in some seasoned flour, and I'm just going to toss that around so that it will all get covered, and then we'll be cooking it in batches. So if you want to come down, you'll see. Right, pan's on. Let's just move it around so that the oil's everywhere. And we're going to go in with our meat, and we want to just season it. We want to just sear it, get a nice colour on the outside. So I'm going to actually let that fat get a little warmer. Once I can hear it sizzling, which I can, I'm going to go in with the rest of the beef. If you're doing more, because the full recipe for 4 people is available on the Facebook page In the Kitchen with Pen, if you're doing more, you will have to do your beef in batches, and that's absolutely fine, because if you overcrowd the pan, the meat won't fry, it will start to stew. And let's remember, we want to just brown it. That's the whole purpose of this. When searing your meat, it really is a good idea, because you get more flavour, to let it go nice and dark like that. Yes, it's browned after a minute or so, but if you take it that little bit further, you're going to get a better depth of flavour into your food. So now we're just going to take this meat out, and then we're going to go in with the bacon. Here, I've just chopped up 2 rashers of this bacon, and that's going in along with the shallots that I've just peeled and halved. No need to go anything fancier with those. You want to know that they're in there, and shallots do break down, as you probably know. So we're just going to cook these till they get a bit of colour and start to soften, and then I'm going in with the garlic and the mushrooms. Garlic and mushroom time. I'm just going to toss those around, get a tiny bit of colour in there, and then we'll add our meat back in, and our stock and our puree, but not necessarily in that order. Back in with our meat and any juices. I mean, there's quite a few there, so that's all good. It's all flavour. And one thing I did forget to mention, this dish does need a little tomato puree. Tomato puree is about 40 odd pence, and I'm just using maybe a tablespoon from here, so maybe that's 5p, I doubt it. With tomato puree, let it cook before you add anything else. You're cooking out that harshness that you can get. So I'm just going to leave that cooking for a couple of minutes, and then we shall go in with the wine. Well, the stock, it's not wine, the red wine stock. Time for the stock. I'm turning it up, excuse me, and it's all going to go in. Get all of that off the bottom of the jug. The trouble with some of these stock cubes, the jelly ones, they don't always dissolve as you'd expect. And get it all right, all in there. Right, I'm going to go in with the bouquet garni. It's really not a tea bag, I promise you. And what I'm going to do is I'm bringing this to the boil. And when it's brought to the boil, I'm going to simmer it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes simmer is almost up, and you can see the flour that I coated the meat in has thickened up the sauce quite well. Once it's had this 5 minutes simmer, I'm going to put a lid on, and at this point you could pop it into your slow cooker for 6 hours, into a pressure cooker for 30 minutes, into a 160 oven for 3 hours, but I'm just going to leave this blipping away on a low heat on the hob for about 3 hours. And how does it smell? Oh, doesn't smell bad actually. Right, there we go. That's our 3 minutes. 3 minutes, our 5 minutes simmer up. So I'm just going to put that down to a number 3. I'm going to go on with the lid, and that's it. Well, I'm actually going to move it to the back hob, and I'm going to leave it for 3 hours. So we'll be back when it's time to serve. Now we're coming to the end of cooking time, and you may find that this happens too, that the sauce isn't quite as thick as you'd like it. So all you need to do is make up a corn flour and water paste. Bring this up so that it's really boiling, and once it is, we gradually add in the corn flour and water paste to thicken things up. The noise you can hear is the Ninja grill with the Dauphinoise potatoes cooking away, and we've got a couple of vegetable sides as well. Okay, right, we're bubbling, so I'm going to go in with some of this, and won't put it all in, and we'll stir and see how we go. I've got to be honest, I can feel how much that has thickened already, and as you can see, it's actually a lot more than we got in the ready meal. So that's how you thicken your sauce. We'll be back when it's time to dish up. I just thought I'd show you the costings, okay? These are genuine, I haven't made it up. You saw the price of the meat, for instance. The other things, you can check the prices yourself. So our total price for the beef bourguignon was £2.88, and the price for our Dauphinoise potatoes was £1.06, giving us a grand total of £3.94. Now, 2 ready meals cost us £2 each, so £4. So I've made more for the same price. Yeah, okay, 6p less, but we're going to say for the same price. So we just now have to keep our fingers crossed that it tastes as good as the shop bought. Right, that was our Dauphinoise. I'm going to bring you down and show you those. There they are, bubbling away. I've shown you the method for making Dauphinoise before, that's why I didn't bother to show it today. I'm just going to leave that for a couple of minutes and get served up. Well then, we are done. Beef bourguignon with Dauphinoise potatoes. That was my challenge, to do that for under £4, and I've succeeded. And if you look, you can see there is way more meat in the homemade version. So we have 2 plates of bourguignon and Dauphinoise. As per, I'm going to take Steve's through, and then we'll be back for the taste test. Oh, I've actually just had a thought, it wasn't me who tasted it last time, was it? It was Steve, but never mind, let's go for it. So I have some of the potato, and that's beautifully soft, and I've got some of the bourguignon, and I haven't needed to use my knife to cut the meat. So bon appetit. Oh my goodness, that meat is, well, I'm sorry, I'm going to use the word, perfect. Oh my god, that's really good. But I will come back and I'll see what Steve thinks.
Steve Reviews!
Hi again. Something I don't normally do and wouldn't do. Sorry if you can hear the traffic, but obviously we're having to have the windows open. So bloody hot. I feel quite lousy today, to be honest. Right, Pen was challenged to make beef bourguignon for 2 for £4. Well, I've been shopping with her, and I know that we spent £3.98 to make this. I mean, obviously, it's a breakdown of what we bought. And I'm sure Pen's shown you a list. I've not been in the kitchen, I've stayed out because it's too bleak hot. My conclusions are so much better than the ready meal, but that was to be expected. Loved the Dauphinoise potatoes, lovely and garlicky, lovely and creamy. And obviously we had carrots and runner beans.
Garlic green beans.
Sorry, garlic green beans, but I couldn't taste the garlic because I had the Dauphinoise potatoes, which were lovely. And the meat. Now I know we used the Tesco's own with wine.
Yeah, the red wine stock here.
Red wine stock. I think that could have been a little bit stronger. Yeah, so I think if you was doing it normally, I would probably look for a better stock or use
the red wine.
Use a red wine. Apart from that, I mean, it was lovely. So obviously she's sitting just there, and
remember, it's only supposed to be a comparison.
it was much better than the frozen Asda.
No, Oxo.
Oxo, bought in Asda's.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and obviously I didn't know that she bought that because she was trying to hoodwink me. So much better. So obviously, if you are inclined, I would say make it yourself. If you want to save money and make it the way Pen's made it today, then there is no issue. You would enjoy it. For me, my taste buds have changed a hell of a lot. So I need stronger flavours these days. So that was my only complaint, if I have a complaint, that the red wine stock could have been slightly stronger to give a bit more of a taste to the beef. Apart from that, excellent. So on a Steve Review scorecard, 4 stars. Very rarely get 5 stars. So no, it was excellent. So give it a go. Follow what she did. Up to a point. Do what you like yourself. I think we need to have a stroganoff next, because that definitely needs strong flavours. So there you go. That's my review of Pen's homemade Bourguignon. Didn't know I could speak French, did you? Oh, and this is for Bridget. Keep cooking.
Right then, you've heard what Steve thinks. I'm just glad it was better than the frozen. It is very nice, but maybe not on such a hot day, eh? Do it when it's a bit cooler. I will put a link in the description to the Bourguignon recipe and to the potatoes Dauphinoise recipe. I'll put the link to the full recipe as well as the link to the video. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. As always, any comments, write them down below, and we'll see you again very soon, if we haven't melted, in the kitchen with Pen. Bye. Thank you for watching this edition of In the Kitchen with Pen and
Steve.
If you like what we do and would like to subscribe, click this icon.
And if you'd like to see more of what we do, click this icon.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again very soon in the kitchen with Pen
and Steve.
Bye.
Keep cooking. And cut!